Hello students. So today we are doing the Shelley Cashman Excel 365 2021 Module 1 Excel SAM Project 1. I've already downloaded the two files that you will access through MindCap. It is simply your Excel file and then the directions Word document. The directions I have open on another screen. You may do so in the same manner or print them off, whichever works best for you. Remember that the first thing you need to do is go to File, Save As, and change the 1 at the end to a 2, and then also save it where you would like it saved. So I am going to direct to where I go. And save it. You should see autosave on. If your autosave is on, then you will not have to click save while you are working. Also, when you're in Excel, it should say author Cynthia and your first name and last name. If it doesn't, this is the point where you would need to download it. Again, this does not happen often, but I still would like to point it out. Let's start with the project steps. Project step 1. Josh Bartell is the Senior Director of the Pennsylvania Field Office for New Era Medical, a global company that manufactures medical equipment. He has created a worksheet summarizing the revenue and expenses for the first 3 quarters of the year. He asks for your help in determining what the Pennsylvania office needs to do to meet its targeted profit goals in the 4th quarter. Go to the Budget Summary Worksheet. So you see the 2 worksheet tabs down here. Documentation, all that's for is to verify that it's your document. So we're going to go to Budget Summary. Cut the worksheet title from cell I1, so here we are, I1, and paste it into cell A1 to display the title in its expected location. My go-to for cutting is Control X, and you see it has now moved the title. And of course, the go-to for pasting is Control V as in Victor. Project step 2, in cell E2, so let's find E, and then we're down to 2, so right there. Add the text number of, so that the complete text appears as number of salespeople and more clearly identifies the value in cell G2. So you can double click here and get your cursor, or you can go up here and type number of. Make sure you don't forget that space, and then hit enter. Project step 3, enter quarter 2 in cell C4. So let's go to C4. C, and then we're going to go down to 4, and they want us to put in quarter 2. And then they want us to move over to D4 and put in quarter 3. So we can just hit the tab key, and that moves us over, and we have quarter 3. Hit tab or enter, whichever you want. If you hit enter, it's going to take you to the cell below it. Project step 4 in cell G5. So let's go to G, and we're going to go down to 5. Enter a formula without a function that subtracts the target revenue, so F5 right here, from the year-to-date revenue, which is E5. All right, now, to determine how much revenue the field office needs to earn in quarter 4 to reach its target for the year. Okay, so what you want to read here carefully, we need to subtract the target revenue from the year-to-date revenue. So the way you can do this without a formula is we're going to go up here and click, and we're going to put equal. And so the year-to-date revenue needs to be first. So that is cell E5 right here. So we're going to put in E5 minus, and it's F5 we want to subtract from it. And you can see how it's lit up those cells so you know where it's pulling the data from. You're going to hit enter or tab, either one. So notice it has parentheses around it. Parentheses around numbers means it's in the negative, okay? So they need another $1,088,600 for the fourth quarter. All right, that is project step 4. Let's go to project step 5. Josh wants to calculate the gross margin for quarters 1 through 3 and the year to date. Provide this information as follows. So in cell B7, we're going to go to B7. Okay. Enter a formula without a function that divides the gross profit right here by the revenue right here. Okay. Again, we can just click up here. We're going to go equals. So the gross profit is, we can put in B6 and then the divide sign and then B5. And it shows us 12.5%. Then project step 5B, we just did project step 5A. Project step 5B says fill the range C7 through E7 all the way to here with the formula in cell B7 to find the gross margin for quarters 2 and 3 and for the year to date. Now, the easiest way to do this is you're going to go and click on B7. You want to place your mouse so you get that black T. Then you're going to hold your mouse down and drag it across those 3 cells, let it go. And what that does is it copies the formula into those cells and it adjusts for that column. So you can see here it says B6, B5, but if you click here, it says C6, C5, and here D, and here E. I love that option to automatically copy and adjust. All right, that completes project step 5. Let's go to project step 6. Again, this has 2 parts. Josh needs to sum the sales for each Pennsylvania region for the year to date. Provide this information as follows in cell E10. So we're going to go to E and down to 10. Enter a formula that uses the sum function to total the regional sales data for the the Northeast region, which is the range B10 through D10, to calculate the year-to-date sales. So if you click equals and then sum, and then hit the parentheses, what you can do is then take your mouse and go like this, and you can see it automatically puts in the correct format, your formula. Close it with the parentheses, hit enter, and voila, you have a sum. I'm sorry, I'm a bit of an Excel geek, so I enjoy doing stuff like this. Now, use the fill handle. We just used the fill handle up here, so now we're going to use the fill handle again to fill the range E11 through E13. So they want us to fill these 3. So we're going to click here, get our fill handle, and voila! Again, it has totaled everything for us. That completes project step number 6. We are now going up to project step number 7. In cell F10, so we're going to go to F and we're going to go to 10. Enter the value 925,000 to provide the targeted annual sales amount for the Northeast region. So we're just going to go, okay, and you can see some numbers adjusted there. That's it for project step 7. We're now moving to project step 8. You will notice that project steps 8, 9, 10, and 11 are all multi-step. So they have at least an A and B. So project step 8A, Josh wants to determine how much revenue each region needs to generate in quarter 4 to reach its target for the year. Enter this information as follows. In cell G10, okay, so we're going to go to G10. Enter a formula without a function that subtracts the target sales for the Northeast region, F10, from its year-to-date regional sales, which is E10. To find the amount of sales the Northeast region needs to generate to meet its target. Okay, so they're saying subtract target sales from the regional sales. So the regional sales needs to go first. So we're going to type 11. The regional sales is actually E10. And then subtract the F10. And again, it highlights so you can see exactly what it is. Again, they missed their target by $228,000, $228,313. Now, this is project step A, 8B. Copy the formula in G10. Okay, so we're going to do Control C. And then paste it in G11 through 14. Pasting the formulas only to find the variances for the other regions and for the total. Josh is interested in how much, okay, sorry, we're on to project step 9. Josh is interested in how much revenue each of the 12 salespeople generates on average in each quarter and for the year to date. Find this information as follows. We are going to edit cell B15, to include a formula without a function that divides the total regional sales in quarter 1 by the number of salespeople. So quarter 1 is in B14. Whoops, B14. So what we're going to do here this is very important. It says don't change the reference to cell G2 that is already there. So we are going to go up here and simply put B14 divided by. All right, and then you're going to hit enter. And there you have the revenue per salesperson. Now, this is project step 9B. Fill the range C15, so C15 through E15 all the way to here, with the formula in cell B15 to determine the average revenue per salesperson in quarters 2 and 3 and for the year to date. So I'm going to just use the fill handle, and there you go. We are now on to project step 10A. Josh also needs to calculate the operating margin, which is the ratio of operating profit or loss to revenue and indicates how much the office makes after paying for expenses. Calculate the operating margin as follows. In cell B20, so we are going to B20. Enter a formula without a function. Okay, so we know we need the equals that divides the operating profit or loss in quarter one. So that's B19 by the revenue for the corner, B5. Hit enter, and it is 2%. Now, 10B says use the fill handle to fill the range C20 through E20 with the formula in cell B20 to find the operating margin for quarters 2 and 3 for the year to date. And for the year to date. So we're going to use our fill, and there we go. Project step 11, Josh wants to include a visualization of the total year-to-date sales separated by region. Insert a chart to provide this visualization as follows. Create a 2D pie chart. Okay, so we're going to go to a new tab up here. We're going to go to Insert. We're going to click on Recommended Charts. Whoops. I forgot something very important. We need to highlight A9 through A13. And then we're going to hold Control, and we're going to go E9 through 13. Oh, I went one too far. There we go. All right. Now we're going to click Recommended Charts, and this is our 2D pie chart. And we're going to click OK. Now, I'm just going to move this over here because it was right on top. We're going to change the title, so you can just double click on that, and they want the title to be Total Year-to-Date Sales by Region. Resize and reposition the chart so its upper left corner right here is in I4. So I was almost there. I4. And its bottom right corner is in L18. So we need to bring it in just a little bit. I believe we're good now. I'm going to come in just a little bit more. There we go. Apply Style 3 to the chart. So we're going to click over here on Style. And these are the options. This one doesn't have a ton of options. You can hold over the mouse over it to see what style, and they want Style 3. We want to hide the grid lines for the budget summary worksheet to make it easier to read. Okay, so to hide the grid lines, what we're going to need to do now is go to the View tab. And you'll notice that grid lines is checked, but we're going to uncheck it. So you'll notice that this is all white now with no grid lines. Your workbook should look like the final figures on the following pages. Save your changes, close, if you don't have autosave on, save your changes, close the workbook, and then exit Excel. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this and upload it. Okay, so once you've submitted the file, you have two options. You can click the graded summary report or the study guide. The graded summary report shows how you actually did on the project. As you can see, this project is correct. No corrections need to be made. If you did not score 100, you can look through here and they'll have a red X in areas where something was incorrect. Now, please keep in mind, you might see something, say right here, okay? It says in cell F10, enter the value 925,000. Let's just say you accidentally put an extra 0. So you know how to do this task and it was just a typographical error. I would not suggest that you redo it. However, if on something else you your formula was incorrect or you chose the wrong range, this is something you might want to consider going back in and doing it just so you know how to do it correctly. If you are not sure how to fix a specific task, this is when you would grab the study guide. The study guide will actually take just a second to load here. So let's say on step 8, you had trouble using the fill handle, okay? This will give you text walkthrough of how to do it. Over here, this will give you actual video walkthrough to help you learn that skill before you fix it. So this is a great study guide to improve on any additional help that you may need to improve and master the skills in Excel Module 1. That's it for the day and for this project. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions.